Manga-Waido.
I'm Kento Katori. I'm 23. I started working here right after high school, so this was my 5th year here. Kaede, why are your numbers down this month? I'm sorry, sir. I don't need your apology. Explain to me why your numbers are down. What do you think happened? This is my boss, Mr. Shima. He was very strict. He was a tough boss to have. I think I spent too much time on each client. I told you this before. You have to be efficient in this line of work. Yes, sir. When you're at the office, I want you to give 110%. Don't let me down again. That's all. Yes, sir. He was always yelling at me like this. I wanted to do better. I really did. But ever since I broke up with my girlfriend a few years ago, things just haven't been the same. Her name was Kaede Okumura. She lost her parents in a car accident when she was in middle school. Her grandparents lived next door to us. So Kaede and her older sister moved in with them. She had an illness of her own, so sometimes she had to miss a few days of school. She was always smiling, but sometimes she had this sad look on her face. My dad died when I was a kid, so I knew how it felt. After she became my neighbor, I started talking to her a lot. Get a room, you two! Yeah, kiss! Shut up!
You don't have to do this. They'll just keep teasing you.
No worries. I don't care about them. I wanted to do everything I could to help her. After that, we started going to the same high school. Then I asked her out, and she said yes! After high school, we both started working in the city. I started working here because it paid the most. I wanted to save up money for our wedding. But when I told her...
You don't have to rush anything, you know.
No worries. I got this. I'm gonna make it to the top. You just watch.
Oh.
For some reason, she didn't seem too excited about it. Then, a few months later, we started drifting apart. Not sure why, but we were just so busy with work. And we didn't get to see each other as often anymore. And to make things worse, her illness was getting worse. She was going in and out of the hospital again. Then one day, we got into this fight. Kaede, let's get married already. I need you, and you need me too. You know it.
Ugh, I can live on my own. Why does it have to be me anyways? I'm sure you can do much better than me.
What? Why would you say that? After our little fight, we stopped talking for a while. I thought it was temporary, but I was wrong. What is her problem? I care so much about her. She just doesn't get it. After our fight, I decided to focus on work, to forget about her. But... Katori, you've been making a lot of mistakes lately. You've been doing this for 5 years, right? You've got to step it up. I'm sorry, sir. I'm such an idiot. Hey, man! This is Minoru. We started working here around the same time. Mr. Shima yelled at you again, huh? Don't sweat it, man. You've been out of it lately. What's up? Let me guess. Does it have something to do with your ex? What? No. I lied. That's exactly what it was. Whenever I thought about the past, I just lost the will to do anything. But then one day... Wow! I got a text from Kaede. It had been years. It just said, "How have you been?" I was happy to hear from her, but I tried not to show it. So I simply replied, "Good. You?" I was really excited though. After that, we started talking again. I was glad she was talking to me again, but something felt off. She always asked about how I was doing, but she never talked about herself. Whenever I asked, she just said she was fine. I kinda want to see her, but what if she has a new boyfriend or something? I really wanted to see her, but I couldn't ask. But then, something unexpected happened. One day, I was at the office handling some paperwork. It was business as usual. But then, I got a call from this unknown number. Wondering who it was, I picked up.
Kento, I'm sorry to call you like this, but it's my sister.
It was Kaede's sister, Shizuka. What? She's in critical condition? I panicked. I told Minoru to cover for me, and I ran out of the office. I got to the hospital as soon as I could, but I couldn't see her. She was already in the operating room. Shizuka!
Kento.
As we waited, Shizuka started telling me about what happened.
A few years ago, she was diagnosed with this heart illness.
I knew she was sick, but I didn't know anything about her heart illness. She got the diagnosis after we broke up, so there was no way for me to know. But still, I wish I knew. And today, she was going into surgery again. The doctor said the operation could be over in 5 hours or so. But during the surgery, she started bleeding out pretty fast. And the doctor was still in there even after 12 hours. So Shizuka called me. Why didn't she say anything? Ugh.
Come on, let's pray for her.
Right. We prayed for hours. They let us wait in the waiting room, but I just kept praying. Then the next morning, my phone started ringing again. It was Mr. Shima. I asked Minoru to cover for me, but I was in a rush, and Mr. Shima wasn't around, so I left without getting his permission. He must be furious with me. But I had no choice, so I picked up the phone. Minoru told me. Your ex-girlfriend is in critical condition? Yeah. She's still in the operating room. I'm sorry I left like that. Once things settle down there, I'll head back and... Stop being an idiot! Stay with her! Stay by her side! You hear me? Huh? Don't worry about work. We've got you covered. I'm your boss. That's my job. Just stay with your ex-girlfriend. Do not come back until she's perfectly well. You understand? Yes! Thank you, sir! Then my colleagues started texting me, telling me that everything's gonna be okay. I was so touched. Then, about an hour later, Kaede finally came out of the operating room. A few days later, her condition went from critical to stable. She was out of the ICU and back in her original room. That was good. But she was still unconscious. But we didn't give up. I went to see her every single day. Shizuka never left the room.
When you broke up with her, I thought you dumped her because of her illness. I thought you took work over her, and I thought you were a terrible person.
Oh.
But then, before the operation, she told me she broke it off with you. She said she didn't want to worry you. She loved you, but she thought if you married her, you would just be worried all the time, and she wanted a better life for you.
I had no idea. So that's why she said all those things to me when I asked her to marry me.
Here.
It was a scrapbook filled with pictures and love letters we exchanged back in high school. Shizuka said Kaede was always looking at it.
I guess she never forgot about you. You two have been texting each other these past few months, right?
Yeah. How did you know?
I could tell. The way she was looking at her phone and stuff. She's not a very good liar, you know. I told her to tell you about the surgery, but she just kept saying no. She could be stubborn like that sometimes.
Oh.
No worries. She'll wake up. I just know it.
Yeah.
Hey, if it's okay with you, will you get back together with my sister when she wakes up?
Of course. After that, I took some paid leave and started spending more time with Kaede. But even after a few weeks, she was still unconscious. But I didn't give up. Kaede, I'll wait. I don't care how long it takes. I'm here for you. Then one day, I got a text from Minoru. He said he wanted to come see us at the hospital. But then... Hey, Mr. Shima? Mr. Shima showed up out of nowhere. I was surprised and a bit worried. Maybe he's gonna tell me to come back to work? I haven't been to work in a few weeks, so maybe he's had enough. But then... I'm not here to tell you to come back. Don't worry. You're welcome to come back anytime. But for now, focus on her. Thank you, sir. He was so nice. He was never like this to me, so I was kind of confused. The thing is, I lost my fiancée to cancer 5 years ago. And when she died, I couldn't even see her. I was working. 5 years ago, Mr. Shima was dating this woman named Mayumi. They were engaged. Their wedding was in a few months. But then, she was diagnosed with cancer. A few months later, she died. And during that time, Mr. Shima was on a really important business trip, and he couldn't make it to the hospital in time to say goodbye. That's why I'm always saying things like, give it 110% at work, and focus. Half of the time, I'm actually saying that to myself. Work is important, but you also have to make time for your loved ones, so... yeah. Mr. Shima, I'm sorry to hear all that. I can tell that you loved her a lot. Thanks. Never thought I'd share this with you, but yeah. Mayumi. I bet she's furious with me, though. I was so selfish back then. All I cared about was work.
I disagree.
Huh? Kaide? Kaide! You're up! You're up!
Yeah, I heard you guys talking and...
Kaide! Oh, thank goodness! Kaide! Kaide!
This woman, Mayumi, I don't think she's mad at you. You're working hard for her, and she knows that. Having someone by your side is nice, but knowing that they're working really hard for you, that's a great feeling too. And besides, you were on a business trip. I'm sure she'll understand. You shouldn't beat yourself up over it.
I see. Thank you.
Trust me, I speak from experience. Whenever I was feeling down, I thought about Kento. He was always working really hard for me, and that gave me the power to keep moving forward.
Mr. Shima started crying silently. Looks like her words really got to him.
Kento, I'm really sorry.
No, I'm the one at fault here. I'm sorry. Back then, I said you needed me. But I was wrong. I need you. I can't live without you. So Kaide, can we start over? I'll never leave you again.
Of course. Thank you.
Then the nurse walked in. She was surprised to see 2 grown men crying like that. But she was even more surprised to see that Kaide was up. She started getting better after that. The doctor said she could go home in a few weeks. After that, I got back to work. I had a lot of catching up to do. Kento, are you done with the documents I asked you for? If not... All done, sir. And I also finished the presentation for tomorrow's meeting. Could you take a look? Ah, I'm impressed. Good job. Alright then, go see your girlfriend. Thank you. Kaide was feeling much better now. And these days, all she talked about was our wedding.
Hey, I know. Let's ask Mr. Shima to give a speech.
Ah, good idea. But you know how he is. He might start crying like a baby again. Kaide's illness wasn't completely cured yet, so we weren't out of the woods just yet. But we were a team now, and I had great friends and family who supported me. So whatever comes our way, we'll stick together and overcome it.